Powdery mildew looks like flour dusted on your courgette leaves. Late summer, white patches spreading by the day, and your first thought is too much water. Stop, because you have got it backwards. What if this is the one disease that attacks the plants you let go thirsty? Powdery mildew is not the too wet disease, it is the thirsty plant's disease, and watering less can make it worse. I am McCall. Today, how to treat powdery mildew the right way round. Make it worse. Let us name it properly first. Powdery mildew is a fungal disease, and it looks exactly like its name. A white or gray powder dusted over the tops of leaves, on stems, sometimes on buds. Early on it is a few small patches you might rub off with a finger. Left alone it spreads until whole leaves go pale, then yellow, then dry up and die. The plant loses its solar panels, so it grows less, and fruits less, and looks a fright. It is one of the most common problems on a British plot, especially from midsummer onward, and it has its favorites. Courgettes and squash are the classic victims. Cucumbers right behind them. Roses get it, so do gooseberries and apples. If you grow any of those, you have almost certainly seen it. Now here is the thing most people never question. They see a fungus, they think of damp, and they assume they have been watering too much. That assumption is the whole problem, and it is where this disease earns its nickname. Because powdery mildew does not work like the others. So why do I keep calling it the backwards disease? Because of how it differs from nearly every other fungal problem you will meet. Think about the big ones we deal with in a British summer. Rose black spot, tomato and potato blight, gray mold. Every one of those needs wet leaves to get going. A film of water sitting on the foliage, from rain or from watering over the top, is what lets their spores germinate and spread. For those, dry leaves are your defense. Powdery mildew is the exception that catches everyone out. Its spores do not need a film of water on the leaf to get started. In fact, a leaf that is genuinely wet for long spells tends to suppress it. What it loves instead is a very particular combination. A plant that is dry and stressed at the root, sitting in warm, still, stuffy air that does not move. Dry at the roots, damp and stagnant in the air right around the leaves. So while the other fungi are asking for wet foliage, this one is asking for a thirsty plant in dead air. That is the backwards bit. Same word, fungus, opposite conditions. So here is the myth, and it is a stubborn one. Powdery mildew means the plant is too wet. It feels obvious. Fungus equals damp, so cut the water. But it is usually the opposite. Powdery mildew loves plants that are dry at the root and stuck in still, stuffy air. Let me join the dots on why dryness invites it. When a plant is short of water, it is stressed. A stressed plant cannot defend itself as well. Its growth is weaker and thinner, and it becomes an easier target. Meanwhile, the roots being dry does nothing at all to stop the fungus, because this fungus was never relying on wet soil or wet leaves in the first place. So the gardener who spots the white powder panics and cuts the watering right back is doing precisely the wrong thing. They are pushing the plant deeper into the drought stress that the disease feeds on. The correct instinct is almost the reverse. Keep the roots evenly and reliably watered so the plant is never stressed, and get the air moving around it. Not too wet, not too dry, steady at the root, and breezy in the air. I made this exact mistake, so let me save you a season. A few years back I had courgettes on my allotment, packed in a bit too close together because I never can bear to thin them out. Come the end of August, the older leaves started going white and powdery. My first thought was the standard one. I must be overwatering. It is a fungus after all. So I cut the watering right back. A week later it was worse. Whites patches everywhere, leaves crisping up. I had given it less water and got more mildew. What I had actually done was take a plant that was already crammed into still, airless conditions, and then add drought stress on top by watering less. I fed the disease from both ends. It is a bit like traffic on my roots. everyone assumes a jam means too many cars. Often it is not the number of cars at all. It is that one lane is shut and the air, the flow, has nowhere to go. My courgettes were not suffering from too much water. They were suffering from no airflow and not enough water. Once I thinned them out and kept the roots properly watered, the next lot were fine. Now, some of you have spotted a loophole, and I need to close it before you hurt yourself. If a genuinely wet leaf suppresses powdery mildew, why not just hose the foliage down every evening and drown the fungus off? Please do not. This is where it gets tricky, and it is why I would never tell you to water over the top to fight mildew. Wetting the leaves might knock this one disease back a little, but it rolls out the red carpet for all the others, the ones we said need wet foliage: rose, black spot, blight, gray mold. You would be trading one problem for 3 worse ones, and blight in particular can flatten a whole crop in days. So the golden rule of the whole series still holds, even here. Water the roots, not the leaves. You beat powdery mildew by taking away the drought, stress, and the dead air, not by spraying the foliage. Keep the base of the plant reliably watered, open up the spacing, and let the breeze do the rest. Wet leaves are never the answer, not even for the one disease that dislikes them. So here is what actually works, and notice that none of it involves spraying the leaves with water. 4 habits. First, keep the roots evenly watered. A plant that is never allowed to go thirsty and stressed is a much harder target, so water deeply and steadily at the base, especially in a dry spell. This is the counterintuitive one, so let it sink in. More reliable watering, not less, at the roots. Second, give it air. This is huge. Space plants further apart than feels natural. Thin out crowded stems. Prune to open up the middle so the breeze can pass right through. Stagnant, stuffy air is half the disease. Third, water the roots, not the leaves, for all the reasons we just covered. And fourth, where you can, choose resistant varieties. Seed catalogs will flag courgettes, cucumbers, roses, and gooseberries bred to shrug mildew off, and starting with a tougher plant saves you a lot of grief. If it does take hold anyway, pick off the worst affected leaves early and bin them. Do not compost them to slow the spread. Steady roots, open air, water low, tough varieties. That is the whole defense. The hardest part of that list, for me anyway, is the steady bit. Keeping the roots evenly watered through a dry August on shift work without either forgetting or flooding. That is exactly the drought stress mildew feeds on, and it happens because we water in a rush or not at all. This is the kit I run on my own tap, the Johgee 4-zone timer. A hub indoors talks by radio out to the tap, and the courgettes get a steady, deep drink at the base every morning, whether I am on an early shift or not. It waters the roots, never the leaves, which is exactly what you want here. Be honest though, it will not space your plants or prune them for you, and airflow does half the work against mildew. A timer keeps the roots steady, your secateurs and a bit of elbow room do the rest. If you have been fighting this every summer and losing, you are far from alone, and the confusion is baked right into how we talk about it. Go on to any gardening forum in August and you will find the same scene playing out. Someone posts a photo of a white, dusty courgette leaf, asking what they did wrong, and half the replies confidently tell them they have been overwatering. It is the natural guess. It is also, for this particular disease, the wrong one, and you can watch that wrong advice get passed around year after year. So if you take one thing from this episode, let it be the reversal. When you see that flower on the leaves, do not reach to cut the watering back. Ask instead, is this plant a bit dry and stressed at the root? Is it crammed into still, stuffy air with no breeze? 9 times out of 10, that is your answer, and it is the opposite of what your gut just told you.